Hey guys, this is Elias with the WP import team, and in today's video we're gonna import MetaBox custom fields from an XML file using WP import. So let's get started by uploading our file, and here you go. Now next we need to select the post type we want to import, which in this case is restaurants. So let's continue to step 2. And here in step 2 we need to double check that our import file is looking good. And in this example, something weird is going on, and what happens is that sometimes WP import won't select the right element in XML, but you can easily fix that by just clicking on the right one. All right, so now we're talking, and this is the data we have to have 1200 restaurants here, and all of this is the actual data we're going to import. So since this is looking good, let's continue to step 3. And here we can just start dragging and dropping some stuff. So if you want this restaurant's name to be the title, just drag and drop that in the title box, and boom, that's it. Then we have a description. All right. And now let's jump into the images section with this image feature element. So I'm going to drag and drop that here. Let's preview and test to make sure it works correctly. And so it does. So let's continue. We need to double check that this feature is enabled. This one that says set the first image to the feature image, right? And finally, guys, we are here in the MetaBox add-on section. Now let's enable this restaurants info field group, right? And WP import, once enabled, will fetch all of the fields we have in our post type. Now, guys, if I go here and try to create one manually, we will see all of the MetaBox custom fields we created for this import. Now we have some simple text fields, so they are very straightforward. Then here we have a couple of time pickers, then a date field, radio, checkbox, select, simple text, radio again. Then for the gallery, we have an image advanced field, right, which will allow us to import multiple images into a single field. And then we have the reviews tab with a cloneable group. Now this cloneable group has 2 text fields and a radio, and you can clone this as many times as you need, right? So this is what we're gonna import today. So let's start dragging and dropping some stuff here, starting with this map address field, right? All right, then street, state is here, country, city is here, cool, and neighborhood. All right. Now, for the opening and closing times, you could select a value here. Same with all of these other options, right? You will select values from here. And the issue with this is that all of the values that you set up as static data, well, WP import will import them just as they are in all 1200 restaurants. And we don't want that because each one of these restaurants have unique data we want to import. So the way we do that is just dragging and dropping the element into the box we want those elements to go. So for this time and date pickers, there is something you should know, and that is that WP import will translate whatever time or date format you have, as long as it's readable by PHP, into whatever MetaBox is using to handle those fields, right? So in this case, we have this time format, and we can drag and drop that, and it will work. Then this open scenes field, that's it. Now for the rating, we need to set this with XPath to be able to drag and drop a value here. So let's do that, and here is our rating. Same for the cuisine. Dress code. Then the executive chef, which is right here. All right. Phone number. Website. Price range, which is here. Average price. All right, and then we have the gallery, which remember is a MetaBox image advanced field. So I'm gonna drag and drop that element here, and I'm gonna look for the separator of these URLs. Now here is, and we're using a pipe here, so I will use the same one here. All right, then I'm gonna enable this option to search through the media library for existing images before importing new images, and I'm gonna match those by URL. And if you want to know more, you can hover on this question mark, but it basically means that WP import will check each image before it's unloaded to make sure that that image doesn't already exist in your site. Now, if it finds an image that already exists, then it will use that image instead of downloading a new one, right? Now, we have finally here this reviews clonable group, and we're going to import data to this MetaBox clonable group by selecting this variable XML option. Now, here we have a documentation where we talk a little bit more in depth about how this works. You can find that here in our website at wplimport.com. Click on the docs menu, go here to all import, then you will find the MetaBox section here, and here is the clonable section, right? Now, I'm just gonna blast through this so you know how this works, and if you have some questions, you can always contact our support team, guys. Now we need to find the repeating element, and in this case is this row inside of reviews. So I'm gonna drag and drop this one, or I can drag and drop any of these repeating elements. Let's just select this one just for the kicks of it, right? Well, then you need to delete all of these indicators because we don't need them, right? So for each row, right, for each row inside of these reviews, we're gonna do all of these fields, right, as many times as repeating elements there are. Now I'm gonna drag and drop these values here. I'm gonna set this with XPath, and here it is. Okay, all right. And then I'm gonna delete all of this because we don't need it. All right. All right. And this is required so the MetaBox clonable group structure can be met, and you can import that data correctly. Now with this, that's what's going to happen, right? For each record that's repeating, for each row, WP import will import these three elements, and it will create as many subgroups as needed in this loop, right? So there you have it, guys. I believe we're ready with our MetaBox custom fields. So let's just continue here to the taxonomies section and enable the cuisine, drag and drop the cuisine, drag and drop the booking speed, and drag and drop the availability. Right, now these settings, I'm just gonna skip them and continue to step 4. Here in step 4, we need a unique identifier, and you can read this text if you want to know more about that, but you can just click on the auto detect button and WP import will just choose the right one for you. Now these other settings, we're gonna skip them too, but you can just read them and you will know what they do because they are very much self-explanatory. Now if you have some questions after that, you can hover on the question mark and it will give you more details about what that option does. But you can always contact our support team if you have some questions about this, about everything we just went through, or even if you want to know more about the scheduling options, which are pretty neat because it will allow you to run these imports automatically on a schedule, right? Now guys, again, we have other videos where we dive a little bit more in depth about each one of these features. So if that's something that interests you, you can always check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website here at wplimport.com, click on the docs menu and go nuts here. Now let's just confirm and run this, and this is gonna take a minute or two while WP import unloads all of the images. So I'm gonna let this go and come back when it's ready. Alright guys, so WP import says it's finished importing our MetaBox custom fields and our restaurants. So let's see if that's true by going here to restaurants, all restaurants. And there you go, we have 1200 restaurants, which is great because this is the number we expected, right? So let's just go here to the front end of the site where we have this beautiful website. And there you go, guys. We have a bunch of images, which is always a good sign. And we have our titles, the ratings, how expensive it is, the type of food they serve, and some other info. So let's open this one up, see what we get here. Title, rating, average price, cuisine, open scenes, description. These two are the two taxonomies. This is the availability and the booking speed. The different custom fields we created with MetaBox, neighborhood, open, close ad, price, cuisine, dress code, and whatnot. And here we have our gallery, which is looking real nice, right? Then here is our map with the address field we used. And finally, we have here our reviews, which, remember guys, is a clonable group. Let's take a look here. Title, description, taxonomies, feature image. These are the simple text fields, which are looking good. In the details tab, we have the opening and closing time fields. Then we have the open scenes field, correctly set up, that's good. Rating, cuisine, dress code, everything looks good. Then in the media tab, we can see all of our images. And in the reviews, all of the clonable groups seem to be correctly populated. So this is great. And that's it, guys. There you have it. That's how you import MetaBox custom fields from an XML file using WPL import. Now, if you want to know more about that, or maybe you want to know more about how to import or export other stuff like Jet Engine or ACF fields, you can always check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website at wplimport.com. For now, guys, thank you for watching and see you next time.